Billian Music, hey, karibu niseme Billian Music Factory, because actually music inatengenezwa hapa, but it's Billian Music Family, BMF, and he's doing great things, linking people, helping here and there to do great things for them, bringing the community together. Anaita community organizer, but mimi najua ako siasani, and I think mimi vile naonanga a small Obama in him. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Billian Okoth. Mbagi unapiganga, unajua nakuogopa sana.
Mimi ningorira uchape tatu, otherwise wagenge watahype na wewe.
Wasijaribu. Wacha nikuulize, how do you like your coffee?
I love my coffee when it's easy, not so strong, you know, and easy coffee. That's what makes me.
Kwani kunywa strong utalala hiyo siku.
Nikifanya strong row inapiga ba 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 ba. Yeah, so I love it, you know, when it's an easy coffee. Yeah.
Billian, born and bred in Mathare.
Yes.
Is that your pride and joy?
Yeah. I love Mathare Republic. Please make sure that when you're saying
Mathare Republic.
Yeah.
MR.
Yeah, so made in Mathare, and I am so proud of that. Yeah, so that's why I can't drop the name Mathare. It's made in Mathare all through.
What does, when you hear Mathare, what does it inakufilisha nini kwa roho?
When I hear Mathare, for me, I see a potential community that a lot has not been discovered, a lot has not been done around it. Yeah. So when I hear Mathare, you know, I just see, you know, because everything you do is new. You do is new. So I see potential. There's a lot that hasn't been done in Mathare, and there's a lot you can still connect with other people. There are people who still want to come and invest in Mathare, who wants to come support Mathare. Wow. But now we need the channel. So when I think about Mathare, I see myself as a vessel that I pray every day that God uses me to do the best that I can do for my community.
Because when you say that, and somebody will be in shock, especially somebody who studied Mathare and checked the music industry in Kenya, the religious side in Kenya, the sports side, and they'll say there's so many people that have come out of it. Mathare United is from here.
Yeah.
Ata Kitonga, baba wa preachers, kanisa yake iko hapa.
Yeah.
We can also talk about musicians, Bahati, Willie Paul. You want to say bado atujagusa
Mr. Seed.
Mr. Seed, and by the way,
tuko na Anthony Akumu, who is also a Harambee Stars midfielder. He's playing in South Africa now.
What is the boxer called?
Okoth. Okoth is also the captain for the boxing team.
Na nimesikia Gengeton nikawa na tumeona wamepitia tu huko.
Hata Gengeton. So Nick also practices here because here in the evening we have vijana watoto wadogo.
Yes.
They are doing boxing also here. So Nick comes here once or twice a week to train with the young people. And that is what we want to do, because when we were growing up, we didn't have role models.
Your part you're growing up, dude, very keen about. What did you have? There was
role models.
What was it like?
Role models were mtu mwenye anang'ara vizuri. That is the person that all women were following, girls.
Yes. As a boy, obviously, you don't unaangalia unasema no.
And because they had something small, and that money that they were making was not a genuine money. They're not working anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, so they had, you know, the flowing cash.
You have an upkeep that you can't explain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the role models we had. So everyone that followed such role models were not able to make it through. But those of us who, you know, we knew, you know, the only way out was either talent or school.
Yeah.
When talent did not work out, we tried other things. Yes. Those are the people that are still surviving.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ukagrow hapa, folks were from here.
Yeah.
And then pia ulirukaruka ruro kiasi.
Yeah. My father and my mother separated. So my father went to the village. My mom remained here.
Yeah.
So that's how I shuttled between here and Shags. My mom was one of the best batik artists. So she would sit down, do her thing. So I know how to do even batiks in shirts.
You can?
Myself.
You do?
Yeah, you can.
Allah.
Yeah, and even in my family now, I have an uncle who does batiks in the States. Yeah, so he has his workshop in Maryland that he does batiks. So that was just in our family.
Na dad mwalimu sasa.
Na father mwalimu.
So they split. So how did you learn? Ulisomea hapa, ulisomea huko, ulichanganya? What did you do?
Ni mchanganyiko mwalimu. Mathare North Primary School, Miare Primary School, Homewend Primary School. What? Miare Primary School, Homewend Primary School, Baroninge Primary School.
Baroninge. Baroninge! I am Billian from Baroninge.
Yeah, so I went to a couple of schools, and it's because my father was a teacher. I always say that labda kwa nataka kulipa school fees, so alikuwa naenda na mimi kwa kila shule.
Smart. You were the first born?
Yeah, I was the first born. Yeah.
So mlienda nyote ama ni wewe pekee ulianza naye?
Tulienda wote. In fact, the only
Mom was left alone. Yeah.
Mom was left alone. So my small bro is the one who was staying more with my mom, but my father wanted all of us on that other side. So I took care of my small kids, my small brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
When they was small mpaka wakafika. Na unajua hiyo time people are going lunch. At lunchtime you go back home, you prepare lunch. So as a firstborn, I would go home, prepare lunch. Hakuna madhe home. So it's just us with father. So before my father remarried, so I would run home. Then he taught me how to ride a bike. So I would ride back first home, prepare lunch. It was mainly ugali and omena because they were quick fix.
Yes.
Ugali, omena, my brothers come, they eat. After that, na wabeba bike,
back to school.
Back to school.
So responsibility was carved in you from a very tender age.
Yeah, and I think I also blame my parents. I started becoming a parent when I was still young, which is not good.
You were apparently a parent before you could become a parent.
Imagine, man.
That's an apparently strange statement.
Yeah, but it shaped me. You know, I always love to take responsibility. Even here, sometimes when I see something is wrong somewhere, I don't point. Hey, tengeneza ile kitu. I love when I'm hands-on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tragedy hit when you were in Form 1 and Form 2.
Yeah. I remember my father, you know, he took me to high school.
Yeah.
When I did my
Barukenge. Ulisema Barukenge?
No, Kuala High School.
Acha nisiseme vitu.
Baroninge.
Baroninge.
Yeah, so when high school, I got 336 marks. So I wanted to go to Kuala High School. That was my dream school. But now my marks could not allow me to go to Kuala High School. So my father told me that I'll take you to Kuala High School, but you have to work hard. So he worked his ways because he was also in the committee, the NAT, the Siaya County.
Kenya National Union of Teachers. In case you don't know what NAT is, it's KNUT, Kenya National Union of Teachers.
Yeah, so he was able to find his way. So I went to Kuala High School.
Yeah.
When I went to Kuala High School, I think the first and the last memories that I have with my father was when he came, paid the school fees for the whole term.
Yes.
So he showed me this and he said, you know what, you owe me this. So it was around 23,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so when schools were closed, I went home. He was sick. I was not able to see him, but I was so excited to come to Nairobi.
Yes.
So mi nikapanda tu gari nikakuja Nairobi. So we were with my mom here, and he passed when I was in Nairobi and he was in the village. Yeah.
So you didn't quite get a chance to even have like a worst word because you don't know he's going. He's sick, he'll get well.
Yeah. So I thought I would come back home and you know, getting to now adult when you can have a conversation because at that other point I think life had taught me so many things.
Right.
So we could not even have a conversation with him.
Oh.
Yeah. So I remember my mom taking me. By then he was staying in Huruma. Yeah, so Huruma is still part of Mathare constituency.
Yes.
So we went to Isili. Hiyo time kulikuwa na time ya side pocket, watu wanavaa nguo zile.
Savco.
Yeah, so when we went to Isili, I wanted side pocket, but she said she's not able to afford side pockets.
Right.
But all of a sudden she was able to buy me a side pocket. So she took me there, but I overheard her having a conversation with my uncle in the States. So my uncle told her that, can I talk to him? He said, no, I have not told him about it. So I had a feeling that there was something wrong. So he bought me side pocket. We went to the village, but on my way to the village, I started crying. I just knew I didn't have a father.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, so it was. So when I got home, everybody was waiting for me because I was the firstborn. And I think because I don't really see people when they're dead. So I was not able to see my father too. So the last memory I have with my father was when he gave me
23,000.
3,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then the following year.
Yeah, then the following year, March 33, in school, I went to see my mother once. So my mom was sick here in Huruma, and since, the income was not enough to sustain her, so my relatives who were in Nairobi plus her neighbors called my grandmother. That's why I treasure my grandmother so much. That your daughter is sick here and she'll be a baggage for us if she dies here. So please come pick her, take her home. She came, carried her as a luggage, and took her home. I saw her once when she was sick. Then when I went back to school, I remember 3rd. Yeah. 3rd of March, 2003, around 8 p.m. Our principal came to class during the preps time and said, "Hey, Billian, come." So whenever he would call you, that guy, if he calls you, it is serious. So he called me, and then my auntie, who was the relative to the principal, was there. So my principal drove me home at night, and when I got home, my mom was lying there lifeless, and it just struck me.
It really hit you hard.
Yeah, and then there were no morgues. So then people would, when you die, you'd be placed in the middle of the house. They would put sand down and banana leaves. So you don't stay for long. So they keep you for 2-3 days. I think they used to give people spirits or something. Yeah, so she stayed there for 3 days. I still fight this because when my parents separated now, my mom died at my grandmother's place. So when they were trying to bring her back to her home, there was a resistance from many of my uncles that now are my people. So they didn't want her to be buried at my father's place. Yeah. So it somehow destabilized me because I didn't know where I belonged. So that was the... Oh my.
It must have affected your emotions, your education.
Yeah, I still connect with my family, everybody, but I still have, there's a way I look at everyone. Yeah. It's because everybody wants to relate with success. So everybody comes close. Yeah. Because of maybe 1 or 2 strides that I've made in life. Yes. But
you still remember.
I still remember everything. I was young, but I was voiceless. I could not defend anyone, but I can still remember everything and every role that everybody played at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When we get back, we take a breather. When we get back, we'll talk to Billian and find out what happened next, and eventually become a musician and what started him to the path of where he's at right now. This is Coffee and Movie. My name is Dr. MBUVI. Moving. Music family. na tuko kwa Billian Music Family Resource Center. But kabla tufike kwa Resource Center, kuna time boy akiwa high school alikuwa rebellious. We wanna know kutoka hapo rebellious akafika malika hapa. What did it take? Tuanza na hiyo rebellious hapo part.
There's a time I went back to high school, you know,
yes.
And I had a team from Norway. They were doing my documentary. Nikapata yule same head teacher. You know, he was crying when he was explaining my story.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, you know, you are one of the people that I thought we'd find in jail. That's what he said.
What?
Yeah, because I was so rebellious until it got to a point to say, wacha huyu amalize, aende.
We get rid of him.
Wacha tu amalize, aende. Yeah.
Because some people, at least when you think there is hope, you can say, wacha RPG class, about a better marks. We wanasema no, kaende.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the things that I was going through at that time. You know, there's no school fees.
Yeah.
You want to settle in. You're far from home. You don't have no one to talk to.
No shoulder. You are the parent. You are still a kid.
Yes. So I started to find ways of surviving in school. I started selling mandazis.
Wow.
And I hired people to do the business. Unasikianga wale ma drug lords.
Yes.
You watch the stories.
Yes, mafia.
Yes. I was the mafia. I did not have anybody protection.
You're the mafia.
I was the mafia and I was the protection.
You're the mafia peddling mandazi in school.
Yeah.
Mandazi mafia.
Yeah, but that was my way of surviving. I bought my first cell phone when I was in high school.
What?
Yeah. Simu yangu So when I was staying with my uncle, saa zile watu wanakula mjui zilikuwa zina vibrate mpaka unasikia.
Sana. Kwanza masaje.
Yeah, I bought my first Timberland shoes when I was in
way to go.
School. I was paying part of my school fees. I was studying in Eldoret. I was paying my transport from Eldoret to Siaya, Shags, and back to school. I used to even enjoy when I am school than when schools are closed because I was doing a little business.
You're doing business. You're making money.
Yeah.
So what caused the turnaround?
No, the turnaround, I think it's because my siblings, I wanted to be a role model to them. Because they didn't have a father, they didn't have a mother figure.
Yeah.
They would see me as a role model.
Yeah.
And I wanted my brother also to finish school.
Yeah.
And for me to do that was not to be rebellious, it was to humble myself, get where to stick, because now I was out.
Yeah.
So I had to find an auntie, an uncle, or whoever who can pick me to help me. So I needed a covering, a roof over me. So I came to Nairobi to my auntie she used to have a business just across here. Yeah, so I said, auntie, nimerudi Nairobi ku hustle, so I just need somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
So then she was having a small hotel. So I would wake up in the morning to go help kupika chai, kuuza chai. Ikifika lunchtime, because I was a bit